a rich man and a poor man. Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived a rich man named Mr. Robert and a poor man named Mr. John. Mr. Robert had a big house, a lot of money, and many servants. He always wore fine clothes and ate the best food. Mr. John, on the other hand, lived in a small old house. He had just enough money to buy simple clothes and basic food. Every day, Mr. Robert walked through the village with his head held high. He liked when people admired him. He did not talk to the villagers much because he thought they were not as important as him. Mr. John, however, was kind and friendly. He always greeted everyone with a smile. The villagers liked Mr. John because he helped them whenever he could, even though he was poor. One sunny day, Mr. Robert decided to throw a big party. He invited many rich people from nearby towns. The village was busy with preparations for the party. Mr. Robert's servants worked hard to clean the house, cook delicious food, and decorate the garden with beautiful flowers and lights. Mr. John watched from his small house. He was happy for Mr. Robert, but also a little sad. He had never been to a party like that. He wondered what it would be like. He did not have nice clothes to wear or a gift to bring, so he knew he would not be invited. On the day of the party, everything looked perfect. The guests arrived in fancy cars wearing their best clothes. They laughed and talked, enjoying the food and music. Mr. Robert felt proud and happy. He liked showing everyone how rich he was. While the party was going on, a sudden storm came. Dark clouds covered the sky and heavy rain started to pour. The wind was very strong. The beautiful decorations were blown away and the lights went out. The guests were scared and started to leave quickly. Mr. Robert was very upset. All his hard work was ruined. He did not know what to do. Just then, he saw Mr. John coming towards him with an umbrella. Mr. Robert, come with me," said Mr. John. "My house is small, but it is warm and dry. You can stay there until the storm is over." Mr. Robert did not want to go to Mr. John's small house. He thought it was not good enough for him, but he had no choice. He followed Mr. John through the rain. When they reached Mr. John's house, Mrs. John welcomed them with a smile. She gave Mr. Robert a towel to dry himself and a warm cup of tea. Mr. Robert was surprised. The house was small, but it was clean and cozy. He felt comfortable there. Mr. Robert looked around and saw pictures of Mr. John's family. They were happy in every picture, even though they did not have much. Mr. Robert realized that Mr. John was rich in a different way. He had a loving family and good friends. The storm lasted for a few hours. During that time, Mr. Robert and Mr. John talked. Mr. Robert learned that Mr. John worked hard every day to support his family. He did not have much, but he was happy and content. Mr. Robert felt ashamed. He had always thought money was the most important thing, but now he saw that kindness and happiness were more valuable. When the storm finally ended, Mr. Robert thanked Mr. John and his family. He went back to his big house, but he was a changed man. He started to greet the villagers and help them with their problems. He invited Mr. John and his family to his house for dinner and treated them with respect. Mr. Robert and Mr. John became good friends. The villagers were happy to see Mr. Robert's new attitude. He used his money to help the village. He built a school and a clinic for everyone. Mr. John continued to work hard, but now he had a good friend who appreciated him. In the end, Mr. Robert learned that being rich in money was not enough. True wealth came from having good friends, helping others, and being kind. Mr. John showed him that happiness and kindness were the most precious things in life. And so the rich man and the poor man lived happily, sharing their lives and making the village a better place for everyone.